Not too long ago, I was visiting my parents' house and I found our old NES with a few games, though the cover flap was long gone. They definitely weren't going to use it, so I yoinked it for myself. When I first plugged it in, I couldn't get any of the games to work, and my heart sank a little, but I'm nothing if not persistent. I ordered the replacement pin connector online and performed the necessary surgery to get to the heart of the machine. Luckily, the NES uses normal Phillips head screws, so it wasn't too much of a hassle, unlike when I had to modify my N64 to play Japanese games for the Majora's Mask video. Good luck finding one of these at your local hardware store. After reassembling my little gray baby, she worked like a dream. So to celebrate her resurrection, I figured I'd share with you the revisit to my old collection. A ReCollection, if you will. Just in case you didn't get the joke in the title. First up on the pile is Tecmo Bowl, the NES port of an arcade football game. What a great start. First, we have to pick a team. I think I'll go with Denver, since I like their logo. This is football. Oh God. All right, let's just go for it. I'm not a football fan, so I'm not really sure what's going on, but I guess it isn't so bad. Well, next on the pile is the indomitable Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt. Sadly, I don't have a zapper gun, so it's just Mario Bros. Huh, this game is a lot different from what I remember it. Yeah, no amount of part replacement can fix the NES's tendency to screw up all the graphics, but that's why God invented emulators. A little cartridge jiggling should solve the issue. Or not. Anyway, it's the same old Mario we've always known. One of my biggest gaming sins is that I've never actually beaten the original Super Mario Bros., so I took a couple hours to sit down and do that, although I'm not entirely sure how I got away with it. Still though, it was nice to have done it on the original NES console. After that we have Pinball, which is about as self-explanatory as they get. It's pinball. No one's getting sued for false advertising on this one anytime soon. Although the picture looks more like Breakout, and whoever put this in the action category may need to be fired.
Oh, great! Bill, you're fired.
Next up is Yoshi, or Yoshi's Egg in Japan. It's a Tetris-style puzzle game starring that weird green horse thing from Super Mario World. So Yoshi got his own NES game 1 year after his original 16-bit appearance. It's not all that complicated. You just rearrange columns to get two in a row, or use two halves of a Yoshi egg to eliminate everything in between. It's not bad, but only about as interesting as Pinball. I prefer regular Tetris anyway. Now we have RC ProAm. This is one of the first games Rare ever developed. Most racing games at the time were either first-person or overhead, but this game used an isometric perspective. I don't remember playing this one at all as a kid, but playing it now it's definitely one of my favorites from this little collection. The controls are a little bit slippery, but it just makes it feel like an actual RC car. The track is littered with obstacles and upgrades, and you have a few weapons to take out your competition. All you really need to do is not end up in last place, but the computers can play really aggressively, so you really need to bring your A game when tackling the more difficult courses. Sound design is great, the controls are great, the visuals are nice, and you've got that classic scoreboard to express your juvenile sense of humor. If you happen to find this game anywhere, give it a play, it's really fun. Moving on, we have Blades of Steel. This is another sports game, this time ice hockey, and was developed by Konami. Once again, we need to pick a team, so I'll be going with Minnesota this time. Our rival is Edmonton. The controls aren't too hard to figure out, and the strategy is far easier to understand than Tecmo Bowl. Just pass the puck to your teammates and try to whack it into the goal. If the puck isn't in your possession, make it, by any means necessary. Also be careful, because apparently it's possible to score a point for the enemy by accidentally hitting it into your own goal. It was looking like I might have been able to squeeze out a victory after tying up the end of the second round, but shame on me for thinking I could beat those filthy Canucks at their own game. Overall, it's a simple but fairly fun sports game, and way more fun if you can play it with someone else. Next game on the pile is Snake, Rattle, and Roll, another title developed by Rare. This game was made as a personal challenge by the programmer to make a game with the smallest file size possible on the NES. I'm not sure whether they actually accomplished it, but it did incorporate quite a few file size saving techniques, which were said to be impossible during the time. It's meant to be played as a two-player game, where you and a friend control two snakes, Rattle and Roll. The point of the game is to maneuver through an isometric level and eat as many colored balls as possible within the time limit to increase your health, weight, and end score. So you need to tongue balls to get tail. Lovely subtext there. At the end of the level you need to hop on a scale, and if you've eaten enough of the adorably named Nibbly Pibblies, a door will open up for you to go through. There are upgrades to extend your tongue length, and enemies like a hockey puck, mushroom, and foot which you can tongue to death for more points. Once again, the controls take a little bit to get used to, but they are really good. The visuals are nice and the sound is really groovy. This is one of my favorite games to play as a kid. And last, but certainly not least, we have Megadude 3. Anyway, a game like this could have its own video, but I wouldn't count on it since I'm absolute garbage at it. As a kid, I couldn't even make it past the Proto Man portion of Magnet Man stage, and I'd always get my ass handed to me by the giant snake on Snake Man stage. Another one of my gaming sins is that I've never actually beaten a Megadude game, and maybe someday, but not today. My retro gaming chops are far from honed, especially with this game. Still though, it's one of the Blue Bomber's finest titles, and I'm glad to have gotten an opportunity to keep practicing on it. So, those were some of the games I used to play as a little kid, and only now have I had a chance to revisit them. There wasn't really much of a purpose to this video, I just kinda wanted to show it off. Oh well. Thanks for watching.